with me hand. I find some of them they living too long, and every 5 years is the same old song. Some of them dead, just shame to lie down, so I prepare for them a burial ground. Rowley, my first grave for he, with joy in my heart, put him down with glee. All of them useless politician, only making up numbers in my island. Al-Rari, I refuse body, I leave them Muslim, them to deal with he. Big smile on my face and with me bare hand, it's time to move trash from out of this land. Taking my time with he, I personally will prepare his body. Make sure he have a sardonic grin on his face. That's all he does do, that man is a waste. Bury he in the back of my cemetery, turn he upside down, he face I can see. Look for the strongest grave digger to cover he. Not with the hand, put good fork on he. Gypsy, political grasshopper, I may feel little pity cause he's my brother. But like Tarzan, he's swinging from vine to vine. It's time I help you to make up your mind. Fitzgerald, Rasta City, I know they go glad to get the body. Resi on beat, I'm done for all to see. Drink 2 beers and watch Coco get happy. But Kamala, I not ready to bury. She is a strong, determined woman like me, and deserve a chance to run this country. When she in power, I don't go hungry. And Calypsonian does get big money. She don't deserve no spot in my cemetery. I putting she in the center of the city. Paula, you too damn lazy. You sit on a throne while women die daily. You deserve a nice spot in my cemetery. All you do is just collect big salary. Regis, you disappoint me with your racial tongue. You like you can see. Your barber does trim you with weed waka. All day all you do is sushila. With you when PNM lost. One day you must come bust a line with me. We gon' knock a glass, make myself happy. I yadi that what you is to me. A grassroots man, stand up for country. I will stand by your side and watch you at work. Or if you falter, you're going to get fucked. Watson, what is wrong with you? I thought you and Fally would have stick like glue. Boy, shake the man hand and tighten that spade before PNM come back and win that race. Shamfa, one twist sacrifice. Yet every week she have new weave, man, she living nice. You and the Pol Pot man resemble and strong. A bum seated bread and you like a tongue.
Not fiction. And of course, our viewers, listeners, locally, regionally, internationally, welcome, welcome, welcome to my friends in Canada, America, and even the Far East. Welcome each and every one of you here at Atlantic Studio. Well, at 5 o'clock this afternoon, we are trodden anyway around 608 murders, 608, and there is still a couple days to go. And Hines is saying that he have the support of the public. I am wondering which one of the public he was really speaking about. Can it be the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So I guess when that statement was made, I think it was made out of a bubble. You know, sometime within your own confined space, you tend to believe that all is well because you are really confined within your space, and you feel that everything is all right, only to realize that when you step out of that bubble, out of that confined space, you realize that reality is something far different from the words that you may utter within your confined space. And I know that even Heinz confined space, I don't even believe that Heinz supported himself as the Minister of National Security. I don't believe his family supports him as Minister of National Security. I think that Heinz is fully well aware that he is a failure, that he have failed in his attempt by his political leader. I know that for a fact that if he had to go back and look at his tenure under Patrick Manning, he will also recognize that failure started. You see, before I say that, let me say this. Failure first starts within your mind. That is where failure starts. Failure starts by the seed that you implant in your mind. And once you implant that seed in your mind, then that seed will germinate and materialize, and the fruits that it will bring forth, it will only be failure. And Heinz failed from inception. Heinz failed as a member of parliament. Heinz failed as a junior minister. Heinz failed as a national security minister. And Heinz also failed as a Rasta. Failed as a Rasta also. Right, wrong. Failure. And while you people in Trinidad and Tobago may tend to believe that you are in your space and your zone and you are safe, I saw a lady crying. She wept publicly with a home invasion that she experienced. And when it reached home, ladies and gentlemen, when it reached at your doorstep, when it reached home in your house, I think that's the time that you will really say to yourself, you know, I should have, and why I did not. And if I did, you know, that's always after the fact. When it reach home by you, you will say, well, I should have really come out and march. I should have come out and stand up. I should have come out and make my voice heard. I should have speak out. I really didn't do anything because it was by my neighbor. I didn't do anything because it was across the road. I didn't do anything because it was in the next street. I didn't do anything because it was in the next village. I didn't do anything because it was in the next constituents. But when it reached homes, when it reached home, at your door, in your home, in your house, in your space, that is the time that you would use the words that I considered to be idiotic, and that is, if I did only know. You know why that's idiotic? Because you know, but it just ain't reached home by you yet. So it's not a matter or a case that if I did only know. You know, you understand what is happening in this country. You are seeing what is going on in this country. But you choose to do nothing. You choose to do absolutely nothing. So while on that, let me tell you this one time. We are moving, we are setting back the date for that public march. we are setting back the date from Friday the 13th, Black Friday. We are moving that date. And you will be aware, don't worry, you will be aware. There is certain developments that is taking place in this country. There is certain things that is happening in this country. And we want to give you the opportunity. We want to give you the opportunity to prepare yourself, to be ready for what is happening in this country. So I thought I should just mention that at this point. But I'm saying to you, the people of this country, that you are fully well aware as to what is going on in our country. So don't say if you didn't know. You may share a tear now, as DL sing. He shared a tear when he passed on the promenade, and he saw so many people liming and having a drink that he shared a tear. He cried, he wept. Those of you who does watch Animal Planet, the cartoon, I think you may very well understand how a crocodile does cry. But I'm saying that there's real tears that is being shared throughout the length and breadth of this country. And the reason why you are crying, and the reason why you will continue to cry, is simply because you choose to do nothing about the situation that is before you. Absolutely nothing. So you will have plenty tear to share as we enter 2023. You will have plenty tears to share. Because what I will say to you here tonight is that the policies of the government, which is no policy to deal with the situation, to deal with the out of control crime situation. While I hear Gordon, Arch, whatever they want to call him, me even know where you get that title, Archbishop. I don't know where you get that title. But while all you're talking about Archbishop and Archbishop standing up and telling you that all of us need to pray, all of us need to fight crime, all of us need to do this and need to do that, and he know all what we supposed to do, but he don't know to protect the children in the homes that getting raped. He don't know that, but he know how to fix the crime situation. Archbishop, let me tell you something. Whatever you are, stop fooling the people of this country and telling them. Stop mamagaing the people of this country by telling them. Stop allowing the people in this country to be deceived by telling them that we have to fix the problem. You hear what I'm saying to you? First thing in this country, first and foremost, we have to have a competent government in place that will bring competent policies to manage the affairs, including the crime situation in this country. You could pray how much you want, Archbishop. I could afford to tell you that you better examine your prayers and see if it ain't going on deaf ear, or if it is not falling on ground, stony ground, and not fertile ground. Because you see, when all you jump up and support vocally one government, and then all you discriminate against another government. When crime was taking place back then, which the government managed much more responsibly than this government, all it was jumping and prancing and screaming and walking and dragging and doing all kind of things for less than what is happening now. Much less than what is going on now. But now, because some other religious organizations support the PNM, all in a sudden, it's not about government anymore, it's about prayer. It's not about incompetence anymore, it's about prayer. It's not about putting people who could do the job in place to do the job. It is about prayer. It's not about getting a holistic plan in place to deal with the crime situation. It's about prayer. So all in a sudden, under Rowley, everything is about prayer, Mr. Archbishop. But when was Kamla? Under Kamla, it wasn't prayer. Under Kamla was protest. Under Kamla was march. Under Kamla was bacchanal on the streets. But under Keith Rowley is prayer. Alright? Under Keith is prayer. So prayer work for Keith. But prayer ain't working for Kamala. Boy, all a bunch of jokers. Actually, you can move, yes? All a bunch of jokers in this country that hide behind fancy gong and big cross on all the neck. Big cross on all the neck. While some of all the people is cross all themselves. All they do are wear cross, because always the cross. That is how it works in the country. It's not about governance. It's not about policy. It's about prayer. That is what it is about now, prayer. Well, Mr. Archbishop, let me tell you something. Pray and fix. Pray and protect the boys and girls that get abused in those homes. Pray and put policy in place. Judah Jones bring a whole 600-page, not one policy implemented to protect them children, neither by you, Archbishop, or neither by the government. None. Not a policy to protect them. But all in a sudden, let me pray. Let me pray like God don't help those who help themselves. I could tell you about people in the Bible, Archbishop, who pray and the prayer fall on stony ground, you know. I could tell you about people who pray and things happen. But I could tell you about the heathens and the hypocrites who feel that they can hide behind prayer and not stand up and call a spade a spade. They could have stand up in 2010, but the legs fracture from 2015. You understand? The legs fracture. They can't stand up at all. No stand up. But let me pray. All a bunch of jokers. I don't know who all could lead now. The same Bible all following, say the blind lead the blind. Everybody falling in the ditch, you know. So it seems as though it's only a matter of time for some of them so-called spiritual leaders and their followers to fall in the ditch. It's only a matter of time. But they didn't realize that this government creating the ditch for them. They didn't realize that this Rowley administration already make the preparation for the ditch. A matter of fact, they didn't even realize that they're down inside the pit already. They didn't even realize that. You understand? It have more tears to come. It have plenty balling to come. And all you will ball in this country until all they take off the cast of all your foot. Until all they take it off all your foot and utilize all your foot and all your voices to sing with one voice to get change in this country. All you feel change just come just so. All you feel change just come by saying down in your house and crying. All you feel change just come by just kneeling down and pray and then do nothing about it. Well, let's stay there now, kneel down and pray until all your knees bruise. Stay in the wheelchair that all you in because your foot fracture. Stay in the wheelchair and feel that change will come in this country. Feel that all you won't have to cry, because the more they praise, the more the bandit come. The more they praise, more they break all your house. The more they praise, more they gun down people. Alright? So all you do, get up and do all that they do. And just feel that prayer will take care of everything. I can't understand in this country what is wrong with all your people, boy. I cannot understand. Like all you seeing, what all you see in 2010 and 2015, that all you're not seeing now.
Victor, what do you think is the benefits of these organizations, all these business organizations, or every civil organization in Trinidad? What do you think, especially these church people, what do you think they're benefiting from by supporting this government?
Well, let me back up a little bit. Archie. I know of leaders in churches who, when election time call, will tell the flock that they ought to support the PNM. And what they use to justify that, them alone know. That is one. Two, the majority of Christian people comes from a particular ethnic group in our society. The majority. The leaders of some of these churches, they look at the collection basket before they look out for the members. They look at the collection basket before they seek to help their members. You would see, Archie, that some of these religious leaders, they come like some of the politicians. They will change a vehicle every year. Every year. And let me tell you something. They're more powerful than the politicians because they're not getting any tax break. They're paying the full amount. So what does that tell you is that the collection basket is what some leaders utilize to live a sumptuous life. You know, there is a parable, I think is in Luke 17, I believe, 16, 17, somewhere around there, where the scriptures speak about this rich man that had everything going for him. He fared sumptuously every day. He had everything. He eat the best, he drink the best, he wear the best, he look the best. Even the dogs was eating better than the beggar Lazarus, who they used to bring by his gate to beg. And that reminds me of the PNM. They eat the best, they drink the best, they wear the best, they drive the best, the dog eat the best, but they utilize the voters to keep staying, to keep benefiting. So the church leaders, they are in somewhat a different category of politicians. They are the religious politicians. So they utilize the church to live, and they utilize their support for the government to benefit from the public purse. So they utilize the support of the government in order to have their schools looked after. They utilize the support of the government in order to have their church looked after. You see Foster Cummins just recently. I think he was in a Baptist church, if I'm not mistaken, or what appears to be a Baptist church. And Foster, he was having a time, talking about a real time. And the leaders with Foster there, they were having a time. I would like to ask those leaders in that congregation where Foster were balancing, I want to ask them if they have benefited financially from Foster Cummins. And I would not get an answer for that, Archie. But the churches utilize their allegiance to the politicians in order to get their wealth. And don't believe for 1 second that some of these leaders is not more evil than the government. Don't believe that for 1 second. Some of them is very much more evil. Because I remember a particular leader said in our congregation that we must support the lesser of the two evil. They consider the UNC to be evil. They consider the PNM to be evil. But they consider the PNM to be less evil. I am telling you that a statement that I am a witness to, that was made in a church. So don't believe for 1 second. What they fail to recognize is while they speaks of two evil, they forget the third evil, which is them. That is where the third evil lie. So don't believe that these religious organizations will stand up and call press conferences and put out statement in the public domain and write letters to the editors and so on. Do not believe for 1 minute, Archie, that these leaders are genuine. There is a benefit. They are just like some of the newspapers. Some of the newspapers will print and taint their articles to support the PNM, and if they have a story that will highlight the evil of the PNM, they will bring that story down to a lesser form of evil. And that is the same thing that the church, some of these church leaders will tell you. So the newspaper, the churches, some of the chambers of commerce, some of the business sector, all of these individuals, they seek to benefit from government. And when they seek to benefit from government, they will taint their stories and their support in a particular way and send that message out in the public domain that, look, PNM bad, PNM evil, but they are better than the UNC. You know why? Because of the benefits that they would receive from the PNM.
You see, I hear that explanation you give, but there's a big hole in that explanation. You see, at the end of the day, you have to be concerned about the welfare of your flock. And under a UNC government, your standard of living, all the indices in your standard of living is higher under the UNC. In terms of the schools, remember it is the UNC that removed that concordat that the PNM had put in place, allowing them to expand their schools and make their schools better. Under the Kamala administration, she actually pumped money into these churches to save them. So this thing about they being, that the PNM is the lesser of the two evils, that doesn't fly by me. And I am going to say something that I am saying it on my own here. I believe there's a high level of some form of racism in their diatribe to their flock, because it just can't be those economic reasons. Because when you hear next year electricity raise, who that affecting? Which is the lesser of the two evil? Everything, every living in the sea has been decreased. Your standard of living, everything is getting bad. But you want to tell me that you're going to tell this flock is the lesser of the two evil? I ain't believe that. I believe the basic diatribe instinct of racism persists there, and they try to show their flock. Because I can't really believe anytime the UNC is in government, your standard of living is better. You're getting water, you're getting jobs, foreign direct investment is better, everything is better, right? Yet you want to tell me that the PNM is the lesser of the two evils?
So let me tell you what you miss. I started off by telling you, Archie, that the majority of the flock that belongs to these churches is from a particular ethnic background. Remember that statement? Right. So I just say it as you say it. But which one of these church leaders have you ever heard came out publicly and tell this country that we have benefited X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, the whole alphabet under the UNC? Which one of these leaders, these church leaders, you have ever heard came out and tell this country that because of the government, and I mean, I want to say apart from Barbara Brooke, if I'm not mistaken, which other individual you ever hear come out and tell this country that they had a better life and a better livelihood under the UNC? You will never hear that emanating out of the mouth, Archie. Never. Because you are quite right. You see, the economic policies doesn't matter not only to the church leaders, you know. It does not matter even to the trade unions. It does not even matter to the vast majority of citizens in this country. Because actually they knew for a fact that they had a better life back then. They knew. It's not to say that they don't know that, you know. They knew for a fact that life was better. They knew that commodities were at hand. They knew for a fact that employment was on the rise. They knew that crime was down. They knew. It's not to say that they don't have the facts, Archie. But because of this perception that is being taught even in the church, that the lesser of two evil is the PNM, that is a subliminal message that they send throughout the rank and file of their congregation to tell their members that we have to support we own. That is basically what it is. And this doesn't need no window dressing. This doesn't need any cosmetics. This doesn't need no eyeliner. And you doesn't have to prepare the eyebrow for the eyes to see. You doesn't even have to put on the big, I see some eyelashes the other day, some of them big and bend back, so they like a wig. Because I see like some woman wearing wig on their eye now. You doesn't even have to put the wig on your eye to see what is happening in this country. You watch at the policies, the economical policies that the UNC bring to the table. And today, while people have to eat dirt because we already passed the stage of grass, while they have to eat dirt, yet to the end of the day, they are still strong in supporting the evil of the PNM. I mean, you look at it. You look at it. I saw Rowley in a church. You know what is amazing? The Baptists see so much trouble under the PNM. You remember those days, Archie? Exactly. The Baptists see so much trouble under the PNM. And if you look for Rowley and Foster Cummins, I wonder what church you see them in by. What church you see these people in? The Baptist was punished by the PNM. The Baptists couldn't talk. They couldn't practice the religion under the PNM. They couldn't.
It had a law against them.
Punishment, prison awaits them. You know, anytime you see Foster Cummins and Keith Rowley, I see Rowley in some song in some church. Yeah, what is song he's singing by? I try to remember the song he was singing. The man, what's our boy? But the point, ladies and gentlemen, the point I am making is this. Yes, somebody touch me. That's the song Rowley was singing. Somebody touch me, somebody touch me, somebody touch me. And he looked like he's singing in some kind of B minor. Somebody touch my... Well, boy, me know, Rowley, I know if you, somebody touch you. Boy, look, behave yourself, eh? Behave your little self, eh, boy? The point I'm making, they see so much trouble. And yet to the end of the day, I am yet to understand why these religious leaders are so dishonest to their own self. And their followers, they are blinded. They allow themselves to be blinded. They allow themselves to be blinded. Even the scripture tell you that the blind leader that lead the flock, that allow themselves to be blinded, all of them falling in a ditch, but yet they allow themselves to be blinded. They allow themselves. You see, the brainwashing starts in some of these congregations, you know. And I ain't talking by guess, you know. If all you feel like talking by guess, that is a matter for all you. That's a matter for all you. Me talking by guess. I have had discussions with leaders, church leaders. I have had discussions with these so-called pastors, some of them. So me talking by guess. They try to mix politics with belief. And then they try to mix belief with religion. And when they are cornered, right, wrong, then they come back and tell you, well, boy, I not telling the church who to support. The church is free to support who they want to support. But me and my wife, we will support the PNM. Me and the past mistress. You know how the pastor? Well, these days have the past mistress. That is what it have now. The pastor and the past mistress. So they're telling you now that me and the mistress, the first lady in the church, we're going to support the PNM, but they're free to support who they want to support. And that's how the game play. But I ain't blame them because they paying the bills off of your collection. They buying the fancy cars off of your collection. They sending the children to school off of your collection. And this is the worst. This is the worst. Because all your collections sending their children to school, but they would not send your children to school. And if you are to examine the scriptures, you will realize that the collection of the church ought to be for the saints of the church. So they are making it quite clear that the only saints that have in the church is saints pastor wife, and saints pastor children. That is what it is. I remember on the pandemic, I was seeing churches, pandemic, people can't go out, people can't buy food. I was seeing churches telling the members, put the collection in the envelope and slip it outside your door when a pastor collect it. They was telling the congregations throughout the length and breadth of this country, all you have to come out to worship, but the collection is important. Put it in an envelope, sanitize the envelope, and slip it under the door when I pass to pick it up. And these idiots was just packing whatever little they have in envelopes, spraying mentholated spirit on it, and slipping it outside the crease of the door for the pastor to pick it up. All your bunch of blind followers. The blind leading the blind. And therefore, the blind will fall in a ditch. And that is what we have today. The strong support by the trade union. I remember it had $15 million hush money for the trade union. All you remember that? or they playing dotish. $15 million for the trade unions. Who get $1 million? Who take 500,000? Who had a time? Who want to sleep with 3 women? Everybody want to do what they want. Money flowing. Today, Rowley break all you. All you. All like toothless bulldog fighting for survival. I see one trade union file for bankruptcy. All you know that? One trade union file for bankruptcy. I mean, I don't stomach, but if I could only say bankruptcy, the file for, that is what Rowley did to all you. Break all your back. And he tell all you know one thing about Rowley? He bold face, He say every Monday morning, all they want all the money. Well, all they might get all the money and lose all the job. All they remember that? All they will get all the money and lose all the job. It was premeditated all along that after the fake oil scandal that Petrotrin have to go. The writing was there. But all they played blind and all they played dumb. So all they collect 15. And all they tell themselves that all they has some kind of jaw teeth. Some kind of jaw teeth. All of the jaw teeth in them trade union is chalk teeth. As they try to bite Rowley bones, so all the teeth shatter. Powder coming out of them mouth. Break all your flat. Flat.
If observers don't come, it's my fault. And with your outer placeness, I must show her the letter that the Commonwealth but I'm showing nobody any letter. I'm telling to undertake that mission.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
I like the last part. You are about to lose your job. We have a call here, Archie? Yeah, we'll give them some opportunity to call in, man. Let them call and voice their opinion. But that is the fact of the matter. Rowley break all your flat, lick up all you have to go. And that writing was on the wall since fake oil. That was there. That was imperative. That is like seeing a bob in front of your eye.
Dance like David dance. We're gonna dance like David dance. We're gonna dance like David dance. Hey, dance like David dance. Somebody touch me. Somebody touch me. Somebody touch my soul.
We just do some pitch correction.
Hey, always real comedian in this country, yes? Always real. You get to dance like David dance. You know David dance? You know what is David dance? Dance like David dance. One part of that song missing is you have to spend like David spend all of the taxpayers' money. They're dancing on it. They're dancing on all the taxpayers' money. And all of you sit down in all your house like all you quiet. All you crying when people... Let me go there right now. So the point I'm making, ladies and gentlemen, the trade unions... They went with the PNM too. They went with the PNM. Don't mama guy on yourself, they went. Welcome, caller.
Good night, comrade. Good night, Chief, and all the listeners on this frequency. Comrade Roberts.
Yes, sir.
You see, when Manning did building a $20 million church, right? Everybody forget that. And every time they say they touch God and they have God, they already buy out God. Because if you can invest $20 million, right? And where you see, we only know, and the spiritual Baptists, how they're pushing the ungratefulness towards the UNC, Ms. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, who give them the recognition, starting with Mr. Balzir Pandey. And I will say it plain, they are ungrateful. Just like the medical workers and them, they fall for, yeah, hippie, we get in, we real money and recognition. When they do check it, what they're supposed to get, they get less than it because they tax it back. And they hoodwink them. And yes, just remember, Pisa Balije House is on the Catholic Church ownership, where they sell the last one they call Harris, Archbishop Harris, sell it for the PNM to put up Balije House. And the link, what the church and them just get is when they give them to the social welfare and they get the money to give the flocks and them, they ask them what to do with it. It never reach the people. So they're eating that food through the government welfare programs and the not NGOs and them. And when Biskana Prasad says all the schools, but they ask which one, the Mahasabha leader, deceased one, under the PNM, he said, now we can stand up proudly and sing the anthem. And when they get it, no, what's going on? A school in Pinal can't even finish yet. Have a nice night.
Thank you, caller. And it's factual. It's factual. You see, I don't know. I want to move from this subject here, but let me just come back there a little bit. When the book of Timothy speaks about the love of money is the root of all evil, I don't know if some of these church leaders understand that passage, you know. I don't know if they believe that they was talking about the flock shouldn't love money, but it's all right for the leaders to love it. Because I am saying, I cannot understand. Welcome, caller.
Good evening, Victor. Good evening,
Elsie Koro, good day.
Yeah, good evening, guys. Merry Christmas, best wishes for the New Year. Everything's okay on your end. Excellent program this evening. I'd like to bring to a point to your attention. I know that your program, Facts and Fiction, is very closely related with Dinesh Rambali, Kyle Takasi, and Brian Day. You guys are really good attorneys. You know, there's the issue of the collection of the $100 bills, right? That it was, the moratorium was closed a little while back when the borders were closed. There are thousands of citizens all across the United States, Canada, the Caribbean, South America, India, all over the world that have money that they're now finding and they're not able to change it. The central bank is allowing bills from $1 to $50, but not allowing $100 bills. So, I mean, it's kind of evil. There's people are very emotional. There's big bags of money, and it's genuinely not drug money or susu money and so on. People are just genuinely find savings in their mattress when they clean up their house and so on. So I was just wondering if we could follow up with, if we could pass on the message to MP Rambali, Takasi, and Brian Bay, if there's any kind of legal action that we could take to get some kind of injunction to start back the collection of $100 bills, because it's very bad. We're in a case of inflation and a poor economy. And if persons have money that they could get exchanged to be able to help them out, I mean, that is only good. That's only good for the citizens, right? But it's very draconian, it's very evil. So I just wondering if we could pass any message to those lawyers to see if we could get any legal redress. As you're on that topic, I'd like to follow up with I remember I spoke to MP Rambali on the show about trying to get Mr. Rawi debarred from the Law Association because of his misbehavior in public office is endless. So I'd like to follow up on that, we could, his wastage of taxpayers' money as a lawyer, we have to avoid him from that doing that in the future. We have to get him debarred from the Law Association and barred for life. Right? Thanks a lot, Victor. Have a good evening.
All right, Asiko. So I take a note of that, the first comment there, and we'll see how that works. All right. Thanks for your contribution. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if they understand when that passage of scripture speaks about the love of money is the root of all evil, because I mean, let us face reality, and let me just make this point clear at the same time. I am not asking the church people to come out and say they support the UNC and support Kamla, All I ask the church people to do is to talk the truth and stand for the truth. That is the responsibility. That is the God-given responsibility. Speak the truth and stand up for the truth. Propagate the truth. That is all your work. That is all your responsibility. You understand? And this notitionist will always be telling me about the church doesn't get involved in politics. I'll keep that, save me that idiotic talk. Save me that. Because a matter of fact, The church is so much into politics that to choose a leader, you're voting inside the church. Right there, you're voting. You have two persons who vying for leadership at the church, and you're having the membership to vote right there. Right there, the membership going and vote. You understand? So save me all that set out old talk and dotish talk. You understand? Save me all that. And all you get it right now. Just get it right. Talk the truth. Let your congregation decide. Your message is to preach the truth. That is all your message is. To talk the truth. And once you're talking the truth, the country will follow. But I am telling you, most of the church come like the PNM. People have no confidence in them. No confidence whatsoever. That is why you'll see every Monday morning our church starting up somewhere. You know why our church starting up? Right around the corner. Two reasons. One, they have no confidence. And two, men didn't have the fortitude to stand up in the church and tell the leaders where they're going wrong. Men didn't have that kind of fortitude. So you know what they do? They rather run away. And let me start something here. And let me start something there. And let me start something the other day. But only in following all the book. Because the book says a house divided against itself cannot stand. You see? A house divided against itself cannot stand. The book teach all of that. But every Monday morning, all they mashing up here and starting there. Because all they do have the fortitude to stand up for what is right. So the easiest thing to do is to run away. That's the easiest thing to do. Run in a corner and papi show the people. If the church come out and speak the truth in this country, if the church come out and tell this country what they have benefited under the UNC, I am telling you this country will be a better place. But everybody, they like the union, they're taking hush money. And once they have hush money, they believe that everything is honky-dory. Good evening, Brian Big, attorney at law. How are you?
Good evening, Victor. How are you doing?
Well, I nearly make you out there, you know, watching all this set here on your face, and it take me a while for me to see who I really going and talk to, you know, because I know you're disguised. I never see a bushy so yet.
No, it's just a little thing just before the new year comes up.
All right, good. So, Brian, I was talking about the church and the benefits of the church with the schools and all that they benefit under the UNC partnership government. And to the end of the day, we are seeing even the Baptists who had suffered tremendously under the People's National Movement to get that type of recognition. Today, you know, anytime you see Keith Rowley and Foster Cummins, is right under the wings of the Baptists having a good time, you know. So I was just going back to show people what caused the change now from 2010 to 2015 and following, even though they know for a fact that their lives and their livelihood was much more productive and better back in 2010 and 2015, but yet to the end of the day, the narrative is they're supporting the lesser of the two evil.
Well, again, good evening to you, Victor. Good evening to the Duga Politics team. And Joe Archie is there, so a pleasant good night to the indomitable William Archie. Well, you see, my friend, under the People's Partnership led by Kamala Prasad, all religious bodies benefited under Kamala Prasad. As you would know, whenever there was any type of religious event, Kamala Prasad as Prime Minister always ensured that everyone had some benefit to get. As you would recall, there were times when they were showed where many churches would have collected donations from the government. They would have also, their schools would have ensured through the Ministry of Education, under a very good Minister of Education we had, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh, ensured that their schools never suffered. Because at the end of the day, education was key for, under Kamala Prasad Vissa's government. I'm sure you will remember that. So when you see these persons now. And as I always say, sometimes the true colors come to light. And you would see them with Dr. Rowley and all of them hugging him up. And all I would say is that sometimes the true colors will show. But nonetheless, the United National Congress has always been a party that never discriminates against anyone. And I'm sure you would agree with me on that, Victor.
Correct.
Right? We have always showed that when we build schools across the board, no matter who you were. We built government and built schools, and we also assisted denominational schools because Kamala Prasad Misasa knew that she was the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And whenever, look, Christmas come and go on there. When Mrs. Misasa was Prime Minister, during Christmas time, this is the same Prime Minister, Mrs. Misasa, who not only did toy drives nationally, but she also invited churches to attend functions at the residence of the Prime Minister. She also would invite them to indicate what help they need, what would they like to get. Under this current government, you could correct me. I'm open to be corrected, but I have not seen a single thing done by this current government led by Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley to assist any religious denominational, any, right? I don't know, Victor, you could tell me. Have you seen any?
Well, we haven't seen. I could tell you what we have seen. We have seen a total collapse of every form of infrastructure in this country. That is what we have seen so far. And Brian, I would love to get a list of those churches that benefited from the government purse, because there is nothing secret about it, and all state monies ought to be above board, and therefore, just as how the lawyers who collect and keep collecting all these millions of dollars under the Keith Rowley administration for brief, some of them who even support Lion Reginald Amor, some of them who say he's good boy, and I mean the brief and the account will explain to me why the good boy, because to be getting that type of or that level of funds from the Attorney General office, I mean, a pat on the back and says a good boy, that's an understatement. You're supposed to pat his head, just pat him down because he's a real good boy. But you see, half of these religious organizations who have benefited under the UNC partnership, they have their lip seal, and added to that, they are still extending a level of ungratefulness and standing in the gap with all the wrongdoing of the PNM, all the hardship, all the corruption, all that is going on in our country today, yet they still stand up and they could afford to sing "Somebody Touch Me." You know, it had a man named Fitzgerald, and they could dance with Foster, you know, have a time, because a piriring ping, well, it can't be piriring ping because it doesn't know 10 cents, 5 cents again. It's only note now, so when that falling, you ain't hearing it. It's falling quietly. But that is what you're getting coming out from them religious organizations.
But Victor, you know, it's not surprising to see what is happening. I am sure you will recall a person by the name of Clive Hart. When he disappeared, he in the country, I think he's still alive, right? Because honestly, very vocal, and now you can see there were many religious bodies that always had something to say. We haven't seen them. But outside the religious bodies, and I know you're talking about the religious bodies, so if you would allow me to digress with this point, is that where all these organizations had plenty mouth, right? Where's fixing TNT Kurtwait? I guess TNT Fix. You don't hear him again. You can't find him at all, right? The business chambers and them were very vocal under the partnership when the UNC was a part of the government. Now, and you have a very good picture showing that. Now they're worse than a puppy dog. You can't hear them. So it is very disappointing, but not shocking, and neither surprising of how it has happened. These persons figure if they say something against the PNM, they will make them suffer. Because we must never forget that. Look, we have Nelson Gate, which is still the worst ever thing to happen in this country. I have not heard a single religious denominational body come out and say it's time for let us resign. I have not seen any um, financial body. I have not seen any major organization of Trinidad and Tobago come out and say that it was time that Faris Harrow be removed from the cabinet. Right? What is where are these people? We have just I listened to the news tonight, but I'm very I find it hard to understand because I was told that on Christmas period we had reached the 600 murder rate, and now we are seeing on the news that it's 600. So nonetheless, we have reached 600 murders. I have not seen or heard any organization. Where's the major religious organization of Trinidad and Tobago to come out and say it's time for Fitzgerald Hines to go? Doma should come out and be saying it's time for Fitzgerald Hines to go. It is time. Where is the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce? Why have they not said anything? I mean, we heard a very major businessman who is the owner of Movie Town has said crime is affecting investments. Well, if crime is affecting investments, these persons who we all know have a hand in supporting the current government, this prime minister is either you fire the man or call an election because we have people dying.
Let me interject right there.
Uh-huh.
I was privy to a conversation among certain individuals. They went to a meeting, and the person chairing the meeting was the Minister of Everything. Right? You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And while one of the individuals in the meeting stood up and said, well, look, I don't think that we are prepared to go further because we have not yet been paid for the past couple of months. They say the Minister of Everything get up and make a joke by sending a subliminal message and call to somebody to the other end of the table and say, take the name of that individual and take the name of the service that he provides for the government so we will know how to deal with him going forward. So while he make it a joke, it was a threat. You better sit down and keep quiet and do what you are told. Because if you only serious about you not your institution not prepared to provide any services, then you will have no work to get from us. So whether you're getting pay or you ain't getting pay, they actually bullying you to do what you have to do. But it will take fortitude, Brian, for people to stand up and say, look, Mr. Minister, everything, I am going to take you to court. I am going to take the government to court. I am going to bring litigation against the state for what is owed to me. And I am not prepared to take any threats from all here. But, you see...
Well, Victor, if I may come in there,
Yeah.
I agree with you. Because these persons, they need to understand that if these people have, this government has wronged you in such a way that you need to do what you have to do. But you see, people, I don't know, like they're afraid. I can tell you of some people, well, as you know, I am a practicing attorney, I know. And there were some people, and I came to them, I said, listen, let me make a pre-action letter. Let me write this government. Let me write this minister. Let me take them. Boy, I don't want to do that, you know. I didn't want to rock people. I just come for a little advice. I say, well, the advice is sue the damn government. Right? That is my advice. And let us take it forward. Well, you know, boss, no, I willing to wait because next thing I lost the contract. I get back. You know, I tell them, go waste your time. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Right?
I saw
Because
Dr. Munilal were dealing with a document where a contractor had reported a situation quite in the US. So I don't know. I don't know if they're afraid the TTPS. I don't know if they're afraid the government down here. But you see, when you have a prime minister who is a bully, a prime minister who blatantly bully you in the open, then what the prime minister have done is to inject fear into the bloodstreams of these individuals that they no longer could stand up against the government. And I mean, you could really count the people who will stand up and speak out against the wrongdoing of the government. You could count those individuals.
That is why there are people like myself and many others who wears that symbol proud that you have on your on that jersey of yours called the United National Congress, the UNC symbol. And we are not afraid to take on this government. And for you and all, you've shown that you have no fear because you stood up against them. And I'll always use the example of the Hall of Justice, where you stood up against what was wrong at the Hall of Justice, where you did your protests, and where they even tried to come and lock you up, but they couldn't do that. You had a good lawyer with you, right? They couldn't do that with you. And also when they tried to stop you with your protests by telling you you had what it was, conditional approval. I still waiting to know what that is, but I know you have taken legal action to another very good attorney, Mr. Kyle Taklalsing, right? And I know that you will deal with them accordingly. Because I am telling you that I had to make it very much public via the media by asking, what was that? And I'm still yet to get an answer. Because I think you are the only person in the world in Trinidad and Tobago who has applied, legitimately you did, applied, to do what is right. You follow what needs to be done. And then they tell you, well, you have conditional approval. And then come and say you have.
They didn't tell me that. I saw that on the papers.
Yeah.
I saw they tell me that. They have that discussion with me. But I don't want to get into that part of it at this point in time.
Of course.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, the point is that people like yourself and people like us, we are not afraid of this government. We will stand up against them. Right? And continue to do what you're doing, Victor. Don't let nothing deter you. Let no one or nothing. Because you have the people at heart. And the people of Labrie has you as a champion. And like I told you, anytime you need my help in Labrie, you have my help. And I will be there with you. Because we must understand that the days of cowardice must done. The days of cowardice must come to an end. People must not be afraid. Right? And I can tell you, my friend, many times when I have, and Archie is right there, he can tell you, we have done protests. I have been in protests against crime. In fact, I walk out a coffin on the main road of Hoover. I walk all the way to Chagoras. Right? I wouldn't forget that. And I remember that. So just as how you walked with your coffin, I had walked with mine.
Right.
So if you have to walk with it again, walk with it again. Because at the end of the day, it is what has been happening in this country with 600 coffins. 600 coffins was laid in the dirt. 600. I can only imagine how much more has been reported. So my friend, I know we're coming to a close. I want to say we are coming to the end of 2022. It's been a dark year for this country with crime, high unemployment. We have had high gas prices. We've had high food prices, high crime. This nation has been how can I say under the knee of this government. We are going into 2023. Nonetheless, I still would like to still wish you, your family, the Douglas politics family, our political leader, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Visesa, and my colleagues of the United National Congress, and all persons of Trinidad and Tobago, nonetheless, a happy and prosperous 2023. But I know with this government, I know it's going to be hard because they want to raise electricity rates. And I will say this about that. We are coming out of a pandemic. Persons lost their jobs. Persons are unable to make ends meet. And we're going to raise electricity rates? I can't understand this. Where's the care? Where's the heart? There isn't any. And in 2023, unfortunately, I cannot see where we will have very less crime. As long as Fitzgerald Hines is there, our national security will continue to fail under him. We will have poor governance. We will continue to see a, a government that is clearly not for the people. I am hoping and praying that in 2023, the nation begins to speak out more and the nation begins to join with us, the United National Congress, and let us come together and let us have this government call a national general election and let us remove this government. My friend, I wish you all the best. Continue to stay safe. I know Archie is there. I want to wish Archie as well a happy new year and a prosperous new year. Take care, my friend. God bless you all.
Thank you, Brian, attorney at law. Thank you for appearing on the program. Fitzgerald Hines alone is not the problem. This problem that we are experiencing in this country, you see, you have to bear in mind that when you have members of a cabinet with all those allegations of mass corruption, mass behavior in public office, what do you expect will happen in this country? It's not Fitzgerald Hines alone. It's the whole team have to go. Moving Hines and putting Reginald Amor. Moving Alwari and putting Hines. Moving Foster Cummins and putting Stuart Young. It's the same kettle of fish, people. It's the same bag of young puppy that going to be squeaking, trying to see how much milk they could draw out from this mother nation. The problem is all of them. That is where the problem lies. And you, the people of the country, have to understand and you have to see. You feel all you crying, or you ain't start to cry yet, boy. Or you ain't crying yet. Wait now, man. Hold on. I tell you that a couple months ago. Hold on. It have some new increase going to be coming in 2023. All you hold on. All you feel, all you see in trouble. Well, all your eye ain't good at all. All your eye ain't good yet. All you ain't seen the real trouble yet. Just hold on a little bit more now. Hold on a little bit more. What you feel? that gang that they call the PNM gang, what you feel that them had time with all you? Boy, them have no time with all you, boy. Them doing what they feel. They doing what they want. And all you just calm, cool, and quiet. Or they just calm, cool, and quiet. Or they remain calm, cool, and quiet now. Just remain. Or they go mind all your family. Or they go send all the children to school. Or they go pay the bills. Don't frighten. Rowley tell all the other day that some report coming that a tree fall somewhere down in Union. Somewhere down there and current cut off half of Trinidad and Tobago and no current. Tell you, hold on. No tree not to fall. No tree not to fall, you know. Just now, they go beat out current. Hold on. Hold on. Just now, you can't pay nothing. So what do I expect will happen? All you feel that when the year change, crime done. All you feel when the clock strike 12. Next couple of days. And all they had the fireworks and everything happened. All they tell themselves, that is it. Life back nice again. 2023. Oh, welcome, happy new year. And all they hug up and all they kiss. And I wish you all the best and wish you all what best. What best is that to wish people? All they feel is just wishful thinking that's run our country. All they feel is wishes that will make all they safe. All they feel is wishes go put money in all their account. All they feel is wishes go give all their food to eat. All they feel is wishes go send all their children to school. All they feel is wishes go pay the van. That all they feel is wishes. Well, all they wait now, man. The clock will strike 12 in the next couple of days. Make all your wish. All they wishing since all they born. Since all they born, all they wishing. And all they can't get all they wish yet. But 2023 coming, all they get all they wish. All they wish. Just wish now. Go in church all last night. Go in church all last night. Kneel long and pray. Pastor, don't forget to pass the collection basket all last night. Take all the old money for they have for the rest of this year. Take that too.
Don't forget property tax on 20.
That one say, actually, don't tell them nothing. Wait. That one telling them, hold on, something's coming. You ain't saying some things coming. Me telling them where it is. All you hold on, wait. Pastor, take all the old money they have from 2022, collect all in the basket. Make sure the basket are little. Well, I can't say make sure the basket deep because they not that much again. You understand? But take what they have and let them come and pray and sing Somebody Touch Me. Sing Somebody Touch Me all last night. And when New Year's they reach, everything will be nice. All will be safe on your home. Home invasion will stop. Rape will stop. Murder will stop. Larceny will stop. Everything will stop. Life will be nice again. Life will be good again. Alright? Or they just keep wishing. Keep wishing. But to you citizens who know that no wish can fix the problem, I am telling you, prepare all your shoes. Prepare all your boots. Prepare all your sneakers. Because we come in. We shifting from Friday the 13th. We shifting. I ain't telling you why we shift tonight. But all you will see why we shift. But all you hold on and wait. You understand? Condolence to the Stalin family. But Stalin rightly sing it. All you wait. Wait. It's not Peter by the gate, no, it's Rowley coming by all your gate. It's Imbut by all your gate. It's Foster by all your gate. It's the weed whacker head woman that Gypsy sing about by all your gate. All of them coming by all your gate. Just hold on. Just hold on, they come in. I don't know what really wrong with all in this country now. I really don't know what's wrong with all in this country. All they crying. All they crying. They break open your house. They drilling hole from underneath. All they crying. All they crying now. Cry. Or they better get bucket to collect tears because they know when and start to cry in 2023. Or they know going and cry. Or they feel or they cry yet. Or they ain't cry yet. Or they ain't cry yet. Support PNM. Don't wake up. Don't wake up in this country. Support PNM, man. Or they go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah, dance in the church. Print it on the papers. Print it nice. Or they disguise the murder figures. Disguise that. Right now, we will be close to about 700 murders. The amount of people missing and can't get accounted for in this country. Or the only counting bodies where they find. How much people missing and they can't find them? Or they ain't counting them? How much corpse skeleton they find that cannot be identified? Or they ain't counting them? It's only when they identify, then they go on record. Well, all they wait then, man. All they wait. All they wait. Let the papers continue to print the PNM propaganda. The PNM tutu that all let us buy and read. Or let's pick up that and read that, and everything will be nice with all you. Let's hold on it. Come in. Welcome, caller.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Caller from Barrackpur.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I heard that witch leaving the country, the president, Paula Merrick. I think she should leave long time because she just wastes her time. She wastes 5 years, takes taxpayers' money. There's nothing for we keep the merit list and put it under the pillow. And look at the crime. Look at the situation in this country.
Well, caller, I agree with you, you know.
Yes, you have to agree with me. Exactly so, because there are so many babies getting killed and nobody, no response at all. Why it is? It's hard. According to Mr. Robert, 2023, robbery coming by your gate, inward coming by your gate, property tax in your waist.
Yes.
So, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what, again? Food price going up, gas will go up also.
Boy, brother, unless this country gets serious, they will pay the price. Right, Archie, I think he gone. Caller, you're correct, you know. You are very much correct. This president is a waste of time. She worse than the one we're gone. Remember, we had a president with one set of expensive wine, all kind of, how much, hundreds of thousands of taxpayer money in nice wine and all kind of wine. Well, this president, by me, no, not this president. I waiting to see. I had to talk to my attorneys and see what action I want to take against this president, because I think that we are in a real serious crisis as a result of this merit list that never reached the parliament, that reached the president house, and instead of the list move on to the parliament, is the first list that I see kicking a reverse gear. The list going straight back from where it come from. Me understand that. I know car does reverse, truck does reverse, van does reverse. I see a man reversing a motorbike and all the other, but I never know a merit list does reverse. Straight back, mash up the whole police service commission. And today we ain't hearing nobody before the court. We ain't hearing nobody recording statements. We ain't hearing bliss passad of a day in court. We ain't hearing nothing about misbehavior in public office. We ain't hearing nothing. But if that had happened under the UNC, oh gosh, well, then you would have see thing. We'd have be prancing, walking, running, jumping. We want justice now. We want this now. We want all kind of thing now. I see the killer man in the United States, George Floyd or whatever his name is. I see people all down here protesting, all by the Queen's Park Savannah. I seen people looking to protest in front of the American embassy. You understand? We hit 600 murders. I ain't seen a boy on the street. I ain't seen nobody coming out. I ain't seen nobody protesting. I ain't seen nobody saying enough is enough. I ain't seen nobody in front of the police administration building. I ain't seen nobody in front of the Ministry of National Security. I ain't seen nobody no way. It look like my eye closed. I ain't seen nobody no way. The country in a state, quite in America, man, somebody knee on somebody head, somebody neck, somebody dead. And Trinidadian and Tobagonian, oh Lord, they're outside there, they jump in. We want justice. Black life matter. Black people die in this country like dog on the side of the road. You know black life in matter. You know we hitting 608 black life in matter. You could do an examination and see how much black people dead out of that 108. You know black life in matter. Black people gunning down black people by the side of the road. I ain't seen nobody protesting, nobody jumping. jumping up. Nobody saying enough is enough. Little boys getting abused in them homes. Same black boys, little black children getting abused, rape, bugger, all kind of thing in them home that run by these big institutions. Them big churchmen who come in and tell you about this sorry. Some father standing up and tell me about he's sorry. He's sorry for what happened in the homes. And he's studying this and studying that. Not one policy he implement to protect them little boys, little bam bam in them home and them. But he coming to tell we he's sorry. And that is what people are accepting in this country. We taking all what going on in this country and we have nothing to say. Nothing matters in this country. But when it's in another country, everybody want to jump up. Everybody want to make CNN. Everybody want to be proud. Yeah, we standing up for we black people. We standing up for the Black life matter. Black life matter. But right in Trinidad, black people dying like dog, but the life ain't matter. All you black and dumb, all you have nothing to say because a black government and a black government allowing black people to go down the drain, but all you have nothing to say. All they quiet. Black people can't get work in this country because of a black government decision. Black people is not safe because of black people who they put in ministry, who cannot function, who have no brain, who have no education, who have no policies to put things in place to prevent what going on in this country. But all you happy because black killing black. You understand? If it was the Indian killing black, I'll see all about the street. All over Trinidad and Tobago, all they be protesting. But today, all they have a black government killing all you with taxes, killing all you with high food prices, killing all you in every form and every fashion. But all you dumb, blind, dumb, dotish, dumb everything. It didn't matter. It didn't matter now because a black man in charge. But if it was Kamala, I would have hear all you. Or the city union, the same black union, and them would take hush money, 15 million hush money. We'd be seeing them. Kamala offer them how much percent? 15%. They ain't want that. What they went back and take? That is how wicked it is, how dread, how bitter. But all you like that. All you take it now, man. Take it just how Rowley gain all it. Take it like a doubles. You know, they want a doubles and they ask you with or without. Yeah, it mean pepper, eh? With or without. Well, let's take it without. Take it without pepper. Doubles I talking about. Take it without pepper. That's what they like. But if it was the Indian day, I would have seen all here. I would have seen the church. I would have seen the union. I would have seen the chambers of commerce. I would have seen the express. I would have seen the Guardian. I would have seen the Newsday. I would have seen all earlier. Kamala not in power, but all earlier. Kamala weak, Kamala must go. Kamala weak, Kamala must go. Kamala running the government. All the bunch of idiots. That is how they call all the idiots because that is what all they are. A bunch of idiots. Welcome, caller.
Yes, it's Silver Fox here.
Yes, Silver Fox. Help me out with this bunch of idiot people in this country. Help me out.
Well, the people in Trinidad, I think, totally is afraid of Rowley. All of them, big man, big woman, they're afraid of Rowley. It's a bunch of children mining children in Trinidad.
Correct.
Children mining children because the big ones are all come a child to Rowley.
Yes, sir, you're correct.
Rowley buffing them up. He buffing them up when he have a talk. He telling them 29,000 votes for me. I don't know none of them. The people of Trinidad and Tobago is stupid. And they're still shaking Rowley hand. But I can tell you something, Victor. This is them same people who crying for hamper. Watch their home, go by their home and watch carnival time. You're going to see their daughter and son going and play mass in bikini and all kind of different things. And they're begging for hamper. Don't trust these people, right? Some of them playing they're hungry, they're not hungry, right? They just play dead to catch couple of lives. They're keeping the money for mass. We have to understand that this is all Trinidadians like wine and jam, and after have nothing after. Rowley fool, but this is the mother of all carnival. What mother of all carnival? Eh? Look at what things happening. They're coming to bring property tax as mother of all carnival. Eh? How much more we could take? We have to get up and fight back in this country. Trinidad and Tobago, we have to get up and fight back in this country because right now we have nothing to lose. Get up, stand up for your own rights and for your family. All of them just sit down there and take in. If Camilla was in power, all the things all would have long for. We have no race in this country. All we have is the human race, and people of Trinidad and Tobago get up of all this stupidness. Thank you.
Thank you, Fox. Fox, these people in this country that's playing dumb, blind, and dotish. You hear what I'm telling you? That's what they're playing. They know the reality, you know. They know, they have the facts, you know. You feel they ain't have the facts? If they ain't have it, they'll just get it here, you know. Some of them just can't take it when they get it, but they'll just get it here, and they'll just get it without clothes, they get it naked, because that's how they have to get it. Raw. Until they get some sense in their head to understand what is going on in this country. Them people in this country allowing some dotish race talk, to have them living how they living, to have them in poverty, them allowing some race talk, to have them living in poverty, living like dogs, because of some race talk by some government. You understand? Some government who never do nothing for them. How them living in the ghetto. And yet, to the end of the day, them talking about Indian this and Indian that. You see how they dotish? I just had to call them so. Those who believe and those who utilize that race talk to make the children idiots in this country. Because let me tell you something. While they're talking all this race talk, the Indian people in this country getting up and getting up. The Indian people in this country looking after the family and ensuring that the family going to school and getting an education and becoming doctors, lawyers in this country, while all you cannot afford to send all the children to school because all they believe in this idiotic race thing, this black government thing, and this African dotishness. I see a man dressed up when I come in just now there. Let me go there. But that's what they believe in. All this that dotish talk. Boy, them Indian. That's all they talking about. Them Indian. All they sucking salt. Salt all they sucking. By all the African government. Salt. All they can't pay all the bill. All they can't do nothing. But yet to the end of the day, all you had time to study old talk. You understand? Race. Indian. All they get heart attack now is right by the Indian doctor they go in. Right by the Indian doctor they go in. When all they have to go to court is before the Indian magistrate they go in. When all they go in the go street by the same Indian they go in. Whenever prescription is by the same Indian you go in. And you're so dotish, you're taking the prescription and you're taking the medicine that they give you. And you're following it to the teeth. Take 2 tablets 3 times a day before meals. You're making sure you eat before you take it. But as election come, as election reach, you're starting to tell me, Victor Roberts, about Indian. Boy, look, I'll go and sleep with that idiotic nonsense that all you're allowing to brainwash all you. One man tell me the other day, you sell out for the Indian. Well, I start to laugh. I laugh. I'm sleeping and I'm laughing. I say, but wait now, boy. I never believe idiotism could have had 2 foot, 2 hands, a head, 2 eyes, a mouth, a nose, and could still talk. I could never believe, because they're so dotish in this country. Anytime you talk race in this country, you just make yourself an idiot. That is all you make yourself. Because all the African who talking race talk, they're eaten by the Indian. They're buying a doubles there. They're buying a roti there. They're buying a burger there. It's right there they're eating. But every time my election come, all they're telling me about Indian. I and Omar gave a man a drop. What, last week? Flag me down. I stopped the game a drop. And this man telling me, Victor Roberts, oh Lord boy, you is the onlyest voice we have in Library boy. You is the onlyest man. You understand? You is the job you're doing there, boy. If the MP could only operate like you, he said about one problem, boy. One problem. wrong party. You know what I do? I drop he where he going. And me and even try to help he to understand that he's a clown. I ain't even tried to help that man to understand how he's an idiot. So I drop him. Joshua watching me so. Omar watching me so. As he come out the van. Here, Omar. Daddy. Huh. Well, you know he's a wicked PNM. Little Omar, 10 years. And Omar don't know that he wicked already. Because if you could tell me that I is the only voice standing up for the people, and then you could tell me that the only problem is I am with the UNC, then you ought to be a dotish clown. You ought to be a clown. Because I taking a ride in my van. You know I am a member of the UNC. You know I is this man talking for the people according to you, according to him. And then on top of that, you're telling me that the only problem is the UNC. Well, let me help you to understand something, Mr. Friend. This same Victor Roberts, who are here sitting down here now and telling people how dotish you are, is the same Victor Roberts, as long as he have life, will always be a voice for the people, despite what and whoever. The UNC in power tomorrow morning. Victor Alexander Roberts will continue to be the voice for the people. And Victor Roberts going to be talking as loud as he speaks. If that could help you to understand. If that could help you to understand that it's not about party, but it is about performance, then I will move you from the bracket of an idiot and put you in the bracket of one who now understands. That is what this is about, my friend. That is what this is about. The people comes first. Without the people, there is no party. The people always comes first, Mr. Gentleman. And if you people in the PNM had any sense to understand that people comes first, then for all the years that you are suffering within the PNM, you would have been a better off person today if you had supported the United National Congress. Because with the UNC, people come first. That is why Kamla Prasad Bisesa, who puts all the policies in place that you benefited from. That is why my loyalty lies within the leader, Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Not because she good looking, not because she little short, but because of the policies that she brought to the table that improve your life, that improve the life of the churches, that improve the lives of the NGOs, that improve the lives of the business sector, that improve the lives of your children who were grading above 50 under the UNC, unlike your grades now under the PNM. Kamla Prasad Bisesa is about life, livelihood, compassion, and love for our people of our country. And that is why I am a soldier that will fight the battle, that will stand in the gap, that will do whatever it is legally possible to do to ensure that that woman sits where she belongs, on the chair of the policy making, the policy decisions in this country, where you who believe that race could help you to elevate, who's still in the bottom of the pit, would be able to benefit. Allow common sense to take place in your mind. Allow reality to hit you, for you to see that your enemy is not the UNC, but your enemy, it's your own PNM party. That is where I will leave it for tonight. I want you to keep that in your brain. Sleep with it. And as the new year approach, remember you have a decision to make. And that decision is about your life and your livelihood. I go on.
It is for all them politicians, and I dig in their grave, no fuck with me hand. I find some of them, they living too long, and every 5 years is the same old song. Some of them dead, just shame to lie down, so I prepare for them a burial ground. Rowley, my first grave for he, with joy in my heart, put him down with glee. All of them useless politicians, only making up numbers in my island. Al-Rari, I refuse body, I leave them Muslim, them to deal with he. Big smile on my face and with me bare hand, it's time to move trash from out of this land. In but I take in my time with he, I personally will prepare his body. Make sure he have a sardonic grin on his face. That's all he does do, that man is a waste. Bury in the back of my cemetery, turn he upside down, he face I can see. Look for the strongest grave digger to cover he. Not with the hand, put good fork on he. Gypsy, political grasshopper, I may feel little pity cause he's my brother. But like Tarzan, he's swinging from vine to vine. It's time I help you to make up your mind. Fitzgerald, Rasta City, I know they go glad to get the body. Resi on beat, I'm done for all to see. Drink 2 beers and watch Coco get happy. I don't care all who go vex with me, but Kamla I not ready to bury. She is a strong, determined woman like me, and deserve a chance to run this country. When she in power, I don't go hungry. And Calypsonian does get big money. She don't deserve no spot in my cemetery. I putting she in the center of the city. Paula, you too damn lazy. You sit on a throne while women die daily. You deserve a nice spot in my cemetery. All you do is just collect big salary. Regis, you disappoint me with your racial tongue. You like you can see. Your barber does trim you with weed waka. All day all you do is Sushila. Fally boy, you is a boss. I celebrate with you when PNM lost. One day you must come bust a line with me. We go knock a glass, make myself happy. I yardy that what you is to me. A grassroots man, stand up for country. I will stand by your side and watch you at work. For But if you falter, you're going to get four. Watson, what is wrong with you? I thought you and Fally would have stick like glue. Boy, shake the man hand and tighten that spade before PNM come back and win that race. Shamfa, want we sacrifice, yet every week she have new weave, man, she living nice. You and the cold pot man resemble and strong. A bum seated red and you